study,
and play come together on a Windows 11 PC.
And for a limited time, college students get
The best of both worlds.
Get the Unreal College Deal. Everything you need to study and play with select Windows 11 PCs. Eligible students get a year of Microsoft 365 Premium and a year of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate with a custom color Xbox wireless controller. Learn more at windows.com/student offer. While supplies last. Ends June 30th. Terms at aka.ms/collegepc.
Nobody does it better than the Watts Podcast Network.
Just that simple.
Yeah, just that simple. Hello and welcome to It Doesn't Work That Way with me, Kalisha Zachery.
And me, Kachelle Zachery.
Hello, friend. How are you?
I'm doing really great.
Great. Let's get down to business.
First of all, the business that I'm interested in getting down to.
Yes, friend.
I've been on this very intentional, thoughtful regimen.
Okay.
Where I'm determined to find the beauty in everything.
Oh, yes.
I'm serious. I'm determined to find the beauty in everything.
Mm-hmm.
Thunderstorm.
Beauty.
Chaos.
Somewhere there's beauty.
Frustration.
There's beauty.
Setbacks.
There's beauty.
Delays.
There's beauty.
I'm going to find it. I'm going to find it. I'm on a desperate seek to find beauty in every single thing, no matter the circumstance, no matter the location, no matter the individuals that could be involved. I'm going to find the beauty in it. And so anyone that's listening to the sound of my voice, I encourage you to also find the beauty in everything. We're breathing. We're alive.
Facts.
You name it. There is a beautiful point to all of this.
I think two things can I add to that.
Yes.
One is I think that's wisdom for 2026.
I like that.
That we find the beauty in everything.
Everything.
There's no perfect thing that I believe there's no perfect thing but God and Jesus.
Well.
And so we're going to get about 80% of everything. And whether you are disappointed in this country and the administration, whether you're disappointed at your job, whether you're disappointed with your spouse or your children, find beauty in it and lean into that, because there's somebody that doesn't live where you live, that's in a worser country. Worse country. There's somebody who is longing for a job. There's somebody who wants a spouse. There's somebody who wants children. So finding beauty in what you have is so perfect that I think it's a great segue to our topic today.
Okay.
So can you find beauty?
Yes.
In waiting at 60 for your payment?
Listen. Come on now, put me on the spot. Yes, I'm gonna find beauty in that. There's beauty in patience. There's beauty in, hey, listen, there's beauty in being informed before I jump into something that is going to pay me out Net-60 or Net-90. So yeah, what's the topic today?
Today we're gonna dive into a topic that touches essentially every creative, especially independent creative at some point. Okay. Right. So it's the Net-60 payout. And I think this is such a close to the chest topic for us here at Watts, because we are independent creatives.
We are.
And
we're independent creatives and independent business owners.
Yes.
And yeah, we're a small media house.
Yeah, and Net-60 is definitely
a reality for our business.
Most definitely. And if you've ever worked on an indie film, a freelance shoot, or a small production company like Watts, you already know what those two little words mean. So for those who don't know, who may be listening to our show and like, what are you talking about? Tell them what Net-60 means, Kachelle.
So Net-60 means that you are getting paid 60, 90, sometimes even 120 days after your work completion. And for some, 60 days feels like a harsh reality. And I can understand that because our mortgage or our rent is usually due every 30 days.
The water.
the electricity,
cell phone,
the cable,
car note.
So to hear someone say, oh, you have to wait 60, 90, and 120 days for payment can be very disappointing. Mm-hmm. But we want to explore why Net-60 exists, how it affects creatives, and how to keep a balanced perspective when you're not working inside a giant studio, which I will tell
Caveat.
you some of these big studio houses, like an Amazon, they're 120. So, yes, net 120.
Sometimes Amazon could pay some of their people out 120. Sometimes it could be sooner. We don't know.
We don't know.
I believe they go up to 120.
Yes. And that could be discouraging if you weren't aware of that.
Well,
so let's talk about the awareness.
Okay, before you do that,
okay.
Should Net-60 and Net-90 payments be eliminated?
It doesn't work that way. I can't say eliminated because the structure of everyone's business is not set up to, like, let's say you get a W-2 job.
Mm-hmm. A 9 to 5.
A 9 to 5. Most of the times you have to put in 2 weeks minimum before you're going to expect. So there's this, net 14? And before you expect to be compensated. So I think we have to first break down.
Not Net 14.
Net 14. Listen, you got to work the first 2 weeks. Or maybe it's even Net 28. Because you got to work.
It's 2 weeks in a hole.
2 weeks in a hole.
It's usually 2 weeks in a hole. Unless something to change.
Yes, exactly. But you have to, Net-60 means you submit 14. An invoice to your work and the company has up to 60 plus calendar days to send payment. Mm-hmm. So it's not a personal slight. It's just a contractual timeline.
It is.
That's
it is. And it exists especially for independent production companies like ours. Now, I don't know why it would exist at a juggernaut like Amazon or Disney or Netflix.
But I've heard major players in publishing, major players in branding. It's not uncommon that they ask their, constituents to wait 60, 90 days for payment.
And it could be because they're so big that it got to go through so much red tape, right? It's like, it got to get signed off by this person. And if it's over a certain threshold, maybe they got a control in place to say, hey, if we're paying you $11 million, they got to get paid by this. Who knows?
Who knows?
But for indie production companies, we rely on it because cash may not arrive until after the distribution closes.
Facts.
Or the advertisers actually submit payment.
Facts.
And if anybody, the founder of FUBU,
Damon John
posted, or it was a clip that I saw online, and it was a powerful clip because he was like, most people's 9 to 5 is their first investors. And we need to really embrace that as a good thing.
Yes.
I don't appreciate people who act like having a 9 to 5 where you're pursuing a passion is somehow, in some communities, they look down on that, like, oh, you gotta, you ain't selling.
It's called strategy.
It is. So for some people, they're waiting for their 9 to 5 to fund the Net-90 or the Net-60 or the 120 that you just signed up for, because this is a passion project. It's a dream, and they're moving from that to reality. So like that to me is okay. They never said, I'm not talking about free, because I don't know that.
Yes.
I don't know that world. So we're not going to talk about free work for credit or anything like that, because we don't do that here at Watts Productions. So I would not be educated to speak on that. I believe in, if I can pay you something, I'm going to pay you something, but you're going to know up front what I can pay you and how long it's going to take me to pay you.
And I think that's the real caveat. I believe that if you understand, let's just give Watts an example.
Yes.
I'm going to work with Watts Productions. We're going to be a part of this phenomenal project. I know coming in through the Watts door is going to be a purpose-driven project. We're going to produce it. You're going to work around a lot of value-based objectives and environments. And overall, you're going to be kept informed. Yes. So you're coming to work with us. I would never bring anyone inside our orbit and not explain to them or have them fully understand that the work that you're about to do is going to be a Net-60 payout or a Net-90 payout. Now, I believe the real harm, what's really harmful if you give them the impression that they're Net-14. And then they have to wait 3 months.
Oh my God, Kachelle, you losing me with Net-14.
Hey, that's
like I have never heard Net-14.
Everybody
even though
has
that's what that is.
It's what it is. So there is a waiting period.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And if it's cash, you might want
make your point. Land your plane. If it's cash, what?
If it's cash, you might want to be careful.
Okay.
Who are you doing work with? I'm gonna just put that out there. That's not funny, but it's funny. Like, sign the contract, ask the questions. But from a producer standpoint, I want to share why, it feels hard sometimes because cash flow anxiety, right? People finish our projects and, I don't immediately pay them cash on the spot. I don't. It's really like that's petty cash. Like if somebody ran on PA and they went and got drinks and they didn't get my card or something, I would just I would Zelle them back the money, right? Like you just put that up, you Zelle back the money. But when it's for your full contract for that work or that group, you'll have to do the Net-60, the Net-120, and sometimes. Can I say
we don't do Net-120?
I didn't say 120, 60.
Net-60, yeah.
I don't think we've ever gone over 60.
We haven't gone on for 60.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Yeah. But it sometimes feels like we've been looked at, and it could be because of our race. Okay. And it could, a race among our own people. Okay. So I'm not talking about other people, other communities outside of our race. They tend to, some of those communities that I've worked with, they kind of understood like, hey, yeah, that's the game. Our community was like, we could close afterwards in a day next. It's like, when am I going to get my check?
Like they didn't read the offer letter or the contract. Now that's weird. That's weird to me. That's
bringing baggage from other people. I assume that they're bringing baggage from other people.
So I think contract clarity has to be recognized. Key. Before you start, make sure that you clearly understand the terms. Make sure that the terms are in writing, whether that's a Net-60, a Net-30, or, just spell it out. Make sure that is very clear. I think no matter if you're paid Net-60 or 30, the goal for me as a business owner is to make sure you get paid.
Yes, period. And to me, I can get, like, if you are working with people that you don't know for the first time, sometimes there can be a little bit of anxiety when you're on a set for 8 to 12 hours and you're like, I done put out all this energy and I've done it for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, however long the shoot is. And you're like, oh, I'm in the car driving home, and you're like, I still don't have my money. But you have to figure out how to trust the production company that you're with, or you don't need to work with them.
I would agree.
All right, let's talk about it. No, seriously, that's exactly what Jordan does on So About That. Whether the conversation is breaking down why nostalgia is a scam, figuring out if we're bad at relationships, or asking why activism has turned into a digital performance, this podcast is where culture, curiosity, and a little bit of side-eye come together. This is for the thinkers, the overanalyzers, and the one who loves a good debate over brunch. We are building a community, challenging beliefs, and probably exposing a few contradictions of their own along the way. It's all love, though. Listen to So About That anywhere you get your podcasts.
And then I'm curious, Spider, I want you to chime in here. I'm going to put you on the spot. How do you feel about Net-60s?
I've never had to deal with it.
Wow. Ever being in the creative space?
Yep. No, for whatever reason, like the closest thing was you might have to fight to get paid when I was DJing.
Okay. Yeah.
But that was about it. But to me,
Wow.
there's like a 50-50. I think the creative people need it. The people that are getting paid that way don't want it and may not understand that. Like, to get that job, period, you had to do this. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a just necessary evil kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can totally understand that. From the creative space, you hear a lot of people make like crazy, I can't say crazy complaints, but I see a lot of, I'll read a lot of social complaints about the woes and the, I guess, discomfort of, having to wait 30 to 60 days for payment. But I'm also curious, did they bait and switch you? Are you waiting because they didn't tell you that was the terms up front? Is it a bad thing if that's the way their business is structured?
Right.
Could you have made a different choice to say, you know what, I don't do net 30s or net 60s. I'm going to have to pass on this gig. If I can't have all my funds up front, no thank you. But a lot of the experiences that I read online often, it seems like that maybe they were fooled into thinking they had to wait.
It's some people that we've talked to who said that they did commercial work. Their commercial is airing and they've never gotten paid.
So I think it's all about the structure of the organization. I also think it's about being very contract clarity, being very clear about what the terms of the contract is. I think it's also about being very upfront about your personal needs, whether that is, hey, can I get a deposit before I go to work? Do you guys offer a retainer? Talking through those options to see if there's any negotiation room. Some production houses may be able to do it. Some may have just a strict, like, you will get paid, but unfortunately, we need you to wait 30 to 60 days.
Right.
Also, because we are creatives, and most creatives work around 9 to 5s.
Don't quit your day job.
It's good to build a cushion so you can have that emergency fund if you are waiting 30 to 60 days. It's always good to not quit your day job, because if you can depend on that net 14 coming in every 14 days, that's a great thing as well.
Net 14 is going to send me through the whole night. Net 14. But can I step back and talk about not quitting your day job?
Yes, I think we don't talk about that enough.
It's not ashamed to be pursuing your passion and working your day job.
Your day job is basically you are most likely going to be your first investor.
Most likely.
And let's say you do want to quit and you do want to focus 100% on the creative aspect. Do you have a sponsor? Is there someone in your life that's going to uplift you while you pursue that 100%?
Exactly.
I guess the basis of what we're really saying is that those monthly expenses, living expenses, whether that's housing, utilities, those things are not going to stop because you are pursuing a creative passion or you're pursuing entrepreneurship 100% full time. And especially in a market where you're not creating widgets. For us as filmmakers, it's project by project.
Right.
And so if let's say some people are working on one project a year, you really have to be able to plan out your year around what that payout is going to be, how soon you're going to get it, how it's going to work against everything else you have going on in your life. So I guess it really kind of comes down to having a plan.
And patience.
What does patience look like when you're waiting on money?
Well, what I'm saying is that the plan is I'm going to save before, let's say I'm an actress, Kachelle. Let's say I decided I want to be in front of the camera.
Okay.
And there's this, I don't know, a movie production that I'm going to go try out for, but it's like 6 months down the line.
Okay.
Anyway. So if, let's say I try out, I get the job, but I know I got 6 months to prepare for the job. So the plan is I need to know how long I'm going to be off from my day job. I need to communicate with them that I'm going to be off on that day job. I may need to pick up a second job while I'm in the midst of waiting for this big project, little project, whatever you want to call it, project to start. And I have a plan and I've saved up money, or I've made sure that I could cover my rent when I get out of this project because I'm going to wait 190 days. That type of critical thinking is so vitally important that if you don't do it, you could be in Net-60 hell because you didn't prepare properly. Or you're like, oh my God, I want to do this. So I feel like you can be successful with a plan. Like it takes a plan. It takes critical thinking. It takes synergy with whoever you're working with or whoever's going to your point, uplift you to be able to do the project.
Uplift you financially,
like cover the rent, cover this. But before you do that, you have to sit down and write on a piece of paper. Get you a book, get you a piece of paper, draw a line down the middle of it and write 2 columns. What could go wrong if I don't pursue this with my whole heart? Mm-hmm. And what could go right if I do? And you got to be very honest with yourself. So it could be like, hey, eviction, repossession, starvation, anger with my spouse, anger with my family. Like you have to be that honest. But the real core of it is your intention of why you're doing this. And what do you really want to get out of it?
I could see that. And I think if we look, even though having it, and this conversation was important for me to have, because when I was reading reviews, I was like, oh, what seat are they sitting in? If they're sitting in the owner's seat and I'm hiring all these people for contract assignments, and I'm giving them this offer letter that this is going to be the pay and this is how I'm going to make sure they get, this is the time frame in which they're going to be compensated. Me sitting in the seat that has to leverage a Net-60. I'm like, which seat are you sitting in? So if it's something that you're on the opposite side of, and you're like, I want to get paid as soon as work is done, that's fair. And I feel like, are you complaining about Net-60 because someone fooled you into it? Or if you willingly took it and you just still complaining? Even though Net-60 isn't ideal, it isn't inherently evil either. I feel like if you take a job that's going to pay you out Net-60, only do that when you're fully aware of the terms. Don't do it if you're not comfortable with it. Don't do it if it doesn't sit right with you.
How many people Kachelle, will walk away from something with no FOMO, fear of missing out?
Very few. And then I guess the regret after the work is done is like, I want to be paid now.
And then they go and spill all of their guts to X and to Blue Sky and Threads.
Yes.
And it's like you feel all they rage, but you can't get the context because you want to say, well, did they tell you that?
Exactly.
Or are they lying to you? Did you read the contract?
Like, what's really happening here? I think it's a real reflection, though, of the independent creative economy. Where there's high passion, there's high risk, there's often thin margins. But for creatives, the key is to protect your financial health.
Yes.
Be informed about everything you're going to connect your gifts and talents to.
Yes.
Don't ever try not to, because I know it's tempting because the work sometimes is so scarce that you want the opportunity and you may not want to wait Net-60. But if you want the opportunity, I think the real complaints, and a lot of the complaints that were on there was like, it went beyond the stated terms. And that can happen sometimes too.
And that can happen.
That can happen sometimes.
Because a contract is just a contract.
Correct.
Right? It's the intent to pay you within 60 days after you finish the work.
And if there is a delay, communicate that ASAP. Be very upfront about that. Yeah. Do not delay that communication. And that level, again, we're back to clarity. Yep. Where there's clarity, where there's a lot of honesty, where there's a lot of truth, most of the time people will be understanding. Then at the same time, people are waiting on those funds to take care of themselves.
Correct.
So from a Watts perspective, I want to do everything I can to keep my word.
Baby,
Yes.
I stay in front of people I owe.
Okay.
Okay. So, and in that order. Tired of lazy thinking about life, career, faith, politics, and brotherhood? Join Keith Ben, where real conversations happen. No professors, just students of life, bringing authenticity, vulnerability, and growth to the table. If you're ready for better thinking, you're built different. Listen to Built Different anywhere you get your podcasts.
But at the end of the day, I think it's not just about invoices. When we talk about Net-60 and Net-90s, I always think about it from the terms of relationships.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Who would you work for today for free? Work with, without no Net-60, no nothing. If they was like, I think it's Wes Anderson. I've heard actors say that they would take less than nothing to work with him.
Wow.
Who is there anybody that you could be like, you know what, I'm gonna give all my all, and I just wanted to be there for the creative experience, or it's very little pay, or it's net $199. I don't know, net 278 years. Who knows? Who is there anybody in the industry today that you would be like, yes, I would want to do that?
Definitely. I can think of two that I would say, yes, I would love to be a sponge around this particular creative. I feel like I could gain from that experience things that money may not necessarily be able to buy me.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, if someone was willing to have that same passion and tenacity to work with me and just be like, hey, there's something I can gain, and money is not really the objective, I would still find a way to compensate them.
Mm-hmm.
We do that today at Watts. We compensate our creatives for jumping on Zoom meetings with us.
It's true.
Because I know they got gas and food, and there's something that they need those resources for. And I know that creatives are so locked out of so much, especially minority creatives, that
ooh, you're not allowed to say that word anymore.
I'm saying that word, that, where somebody could be like $25 just to get on the Zoom, but somebody was like, man, that $25 put gas in my car.
Right.
Or I was able to go get something to eat. It was able to tie me over until I was expecting something else coming from somewhere else. So just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Mm-hmm.
And so even if I could, or even if someone was willing to work with me on that level, I would still try to find a way to compensate them for their time. Even if it was on a small scale, a little bit can go a long way.
Mm-hmm.
And nothing is for free.
Yeah.
Nothing is for free.
Did you ever watch the Power Rangers?
Never. I was never into them.
Me neither. However, one of the Power Rangers, I forget what outfit he was in. They had the pink, the yellow.
Vaguely. They running through my mind vaguely.
It was just, it wasn't my cup of tea, but I seen a clip on socials where the young man who played a Power Ranger, at that point, I think it was $1 billion franchise or something.
Wow.
But he was only making $1,200 per episode.
I know you lying.
No, ma'am. He also was the Black Power Ranger.
Oh my gosh.
And he left the show is what I heard. So when you think about disparity in income, I think about that. Regardless, let's take race and set it to the table, set it to the side. Because I don't know if all the Power Rangers got paid the same amount. I don't know. But
yes, Walter Jones, who played the original Black Ranger, Zach Taylor, in the 1993 Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, confirmed he was paid roughly $1,200 per episode, sometimes less initially, despite the show generating over $1 billion in its first year and working 70 to 90-hour weeks. The cast lacked union protections, residuals, and according to Jones, adequate pay. Damn. That's why.
And then I wondered, did they pay him $190? Net 90 or Net 60.
Wow.
So when you think about it, you think people at the highest level, whoever produced Power Rangers, I remember Power Rangers, but that is exploitation. That's like, that's horrible.
That's wild.
And these are major conglomerate companies, and it's greed. And then you have this disruptor in the form of Watts Productions that will give you $25 just for jumping on a Zoom because we appreciate your time. You know, you see the difference. And this is why our industry, or whatever industry that you may be in, and you see some type of problem, that's how you become wealthy, is you figure out how to solve it.
Wow.
And that's what Watts is doing in the industry. So if you come to work for Watts Productions and you're like, they paying me out in Net-60.
Please know you're going to get paid.
Babes, please know you just going to get paid. And if I could pay you out day of,
my God, it's done.
Before
I
we
would
leave
not
the
hold
set,
you up. I would not hold you.
The one thing I don't argue about is money.
Yes.
I just, it doesn't, it mess up creativity. So we protect creativity by having a contract. We have an offer letter. We do all of those things that may seem tedious to the average creator, but all of that tedious stuff is so that you can create in peace. And when you're finished working 10 hours and you're in the car and you're driving home, you're not angry because you didn't get your pay, and then you go back and read the contract because you didn't read it the first time, and then now say you ain't gonna get paid to 60 days. That ain't on us. There's accountability on two levels. One, we gotta pay you, but you gotta read the contract. So when you hear about that young man and you hear about other horror stories in the industry, that is what Watts is here, is to disrupt. I'm going to give you a great environment to create. I'm going to give you a great environment to create. I'm going to give you a space to be great. And in that, because of how things are operating, I may have to wait 60 days to pay you. But baby,
you're going to get paid.
Oh, Kachelle,
you will.
With that.
And with that.
Yes. We want to thank you for being a part of the Watts community.
Yes, we do.
We love you here. You're welcome here. And we would be grateful if you could give us a 5-star rating.
You heard it.
Your thoughts
5
on Apple Podcasts. Your support truly assists us in connecting with a wider audience. So, to leave that rating and review, simply scroll to the bottom of the show page and click on Write a Review. And since you are here, I'm going to ask you to hit subscribe.
All right.
Follow, favorite, so that we can get more money on time. Before the 60 days, help us out and let us know your thoughts in the comment sections. We read the comments. Comment sections is the heartbeat of everything social right now. If you go to the comment section, you really can figure out what the audience thinks. And so we want your comments. Leave us those comments in the comment section, please, and thank you. And for more information about me and Kachelle, my lovely sister, and about the Watts Podcast Network, visit our website, because we have one, wattsproductions.com/podcast. Share this episode with your friends who might find it interesting when they were arguing or talking to you, not arguing, but just venting at brunch about being paid 60 days. Share this episode. Tell them it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay, because sometimes it happens. And guess what? We will see you next time.
Yes, we will.
Kachelle, what you want to tell the people to do?
I want to tell the people to live in a lot of peace, love, and light. We'll see you next time.
I thought you was going to say spread love, genuine love everywhere you go.
Oh, I want to tell the people to spread love, genuine love, and do it everywhere you go. Have a great one.
Bye. We'll see you next time.